Number 15 is this 2005-2006 SP Signature Edition Incredible Inscriptions autograph of Ron Artest, numbered 13 out of 50. And Ron Artest really never got a lot of autographs in a Pacers uniform. I think he had maybe 5 or 6, maybe a little more if you count some of the lower end parallels. But I mean, some of them were like, I think there's a triple with Hakeem Olajuwon and David Robinson. There's a duel with Dennis Rodman. One of them's a logo man. So even though there are some Pacers autographs out there, they're few and far between. And this particular one here, it's an inscription set. So you're supposed to either put a nickname or an inscription of some sort. And he wrote Pac-Man. At least I believe that's what it says, which in all of my years of collecting Ron Artest, I have never once seen him referred to as Pac-Man. I've Googled it. I've tried to see if that is out there somewhere. But that, just seems like a really Ron thing to do, so it doesn't surprise me at all. But anyway, I'm very happy to own this one. There have since been some new Pacers autographs come out in Panini products, but they're using Meta World Peace stickers, and they're using the name Meta World Peace, even though that's not even his legal name anymore. His name is, I believe, Meta Sanford Artest now, so it's just all kind of messy. It's weird seeing that name on the Pacers autograph, so anytime I see one of these older ones, I try and grab it when I can. So once again, that's card number 15. Number 14 is this 2015-2016 Panini Preferred NBA Finals patch, numbered, in this case, 1 out of 25, of Steph Curry. And normally I'm not a big fan of booklet cards, but I would say that Panini just absolutely killed it with this one. And I'll open it up here so I can show you specifically what I like about this. Number one, the surface of this card is acetate, which is always a big bonus for me. I think that just adds to the design. You've got a great action photo from the game that he wore it in, which was Game 2, which they've also put here on the card. And then this is a prime patch piece. Granted, not the best prime piece out there, but I'll take what I can get. So they give you that. The back of the card has a write-up of the game on there. So a very, very well-designed card just in general. And on top of that, I think it's significant because it is from Steph Curry's first NBA Finals win in 2015. So a real piece of basketball history right here, because Steph has really blossomed before our eyes and turned into the player that we have today. As far as my route to acquiring this card, as with many of the nicer cards that I got it years ago. This is not something I would be able to obtain now, but I bought this in a lot on Facebook with some other finals patches, and it came all the way from Malaysia. The seller gave me the tracking number, but it just kind of disappeared. The tracking just kind of stalled at some point. I was kind of scared about it. I was, looking at the updates constantly, and eventually it did show up, and I'm glad it did because it is a major card in my PC. Once again, very happy to have this. This is card number 14. Number 13 is this 2004-2005 Upper Deck Trilogy Swatches of Stardom Relics of Bill Russell, numbered 36 out of 50. And Bill's another one of those players that just doesn't have a lot of relics out there. In fact, Panini hasn't even made any. Topps made some in the late 2000s, but they were all very small pieces. And then Upper Deck had some scattered pieces. I know they had a warm-up jacket or two and then also a pair of shorts. But if you think about it, those don't produce many prime pieces. And even the warm-up jacket, they used the full letters for a Letterman set. So that used up a lot of those. So that didn't leave me with many affordable options for Russell Prime relics. And if I can't get one of those, then my next step is to try and get the biggest swatch possible. Well, with the exception of a very limited exquisite jersey set, which I think is numbered to 25, they don't get much bigger than this one. This is a card I spotted in person at one of the Tampa Collector Cons. The seller had it sitting right next to a jumbo Wilt Chamberlain piece, which I thought was fitting. I knew the seller, and thankfully we were able to work out a deal. Part of it was FOMO. I didn't think I'd see another one of these. I should have known with it being numbered to 50 that I would, but I had never seen one in person before. So anyway, another one showed up. No big deal. I was able to get this one in person, so very happy about that. And I've also since acquired a Topps Prime Russell relic, but you know what? It's tiny and the design isn't nearly as nice as this one. So I like this one much better. In my opinion, Upper Deck got everything about this one right. From the picture here, you see he's got the arm stretched out over there. to the foil, to the swatch placement, to the description on the back, which I haven't shown you here. One thing I really like is that they specify that on the front of this card is an authentic piece of shorts worn by Bill Russell in an NBA game. So they even tell you where the relic came from. So I really like this card. I could go on, but I'll spare you. Just know that those are only a few of the reasons why this is card number 13. Card number 12 is this 2004-2005 Fleer Authentics Ticket to the Pros rookie of David Harrison. And you'll notice that there's also some ink on there as well. That is Larry Bird's autograph. And the story behind this set, it was called Ticket to the Pros, and they included rookies from the 2004 draft class and then paired them either with a coach or somebody in the front office that had some name recognition. So like I think Byron Scott is on the Hornets card. I think Danny Ainge is on Al Jefferson's card, and so on and so on. So I picked up a number of these over the years, but this is by far my favorite for several reasons. Number one, when Ron Artest was suspended after the brawl, I decided, I've got to pick another player to collect for the time being because there were no new Ron Artest cards. So it ended up being David Harrison because he was the Pacers rookie that year. David was also kind enough to come on my podcast a couple years ago, so I'll forever be thankful for that. And then also, it's just rare that there are Larry Bird Pacers autographs. Larry's played a role with the team for quite a few years now. In the late 90s, he became their coach for 3 seasons, and then after that, he transitioned into the front office. I think he might still do a little bit of work from a distance now. I don't know if he's officially a Pacers employee anymore, but he has been around the franchise for several decades, so it's nice to have some way to commemorate that on a card and have a Larry Bird card that's not all Boston Celtics green. So also this card here is numbered 9 out of 25. There were several variations of this card. I think this is one of the rarer ones, and very happy to have this. So this is card number 12. Card number 11 is this 1957-58 Topps Bill Russell rookie and an SGC1 holder. And yes, by now this card has gotten plenty of traction on the audio podcast, on the YouTube channel, but humor me and allow me to talk about this yet one more time. So this is one that I had been chasing for a while, and I had all these plans of going to the 2021 National and coming home with a Russell rookie. Well, I went there and I saw probably less than a handful, but they were all way out of my range. And of course, then after that, things continued to escalate, and this card kept going up in value. So I thought to myself, you know what, maybe it's just time to give up the chase for the 57 Russell, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to move all the stuff in order to work my way up to it. Well, it's interesting how things can change in just a short period of time. Heading into the summer of 2022, I was doing some lot hunting on eBay, and I stumbled across a very cheap lot that had a Gary Payton Star Rubies card in it, which was a nice card to come by, very pricey card, and one that I also had little to no attachment to. So it was kind of the perfect storm. There was also someone that was chasing that set, so they were able to arrange it to where I moved that card to them. Shortly after that, I went to Dallas, and I used a lot of those funds to buy this at the Dallas Card Show. I didn't see this SGC1 copy until the second day that I was there, but I was able to make a deal for it, and I'm very happy about that. All of that changed in just such a quick period of time. It's like the stars kind of lined up, and I ended up with this rookie. And then, unfortunately, 2 weeks after that, Bill Russell passed away. So, I thought that the prices might go up even higher. I think they've actually settled to a little cheaper than I paid for this, but nonetheless, I'm happy to have it. I'm happy it's in an SGC slab because I'm trying to do that 57 set in the SGC holders. And to me, it's a card that's very meaningful, not just for my chase of the card, but also for everything that Russell did on and off the court. I've talked about that before. I'm not going to go on and on about that. But here is card number 11, once again, on my favorite 50 countdown.